Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final year Economic Survival Guide 2026. My name is Ogundijo Mary, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. So I'm really excited to have you all here, especially the final year students that are preparing for one of the most important phase of this academic journey, which is the project. So this section is proudly organized by IOS, Institute of Scholars Educational Consultancy. And IOS is the leading educational organization dedicated to equipping students and young professionals with the practical skills and knowledge that we need to succeed in today's fast changing world. So, and today's session is part of that mission to give you real and practical insights that will guide you through your final year projects successfully. So, moving on, I would like to drop some few guidelines that will ensure us to have a smooth session today. So, as you all know, let's keep our microphone muted and let's make sure that we jot down the various things that our speakers will along to us in today's session. So there is a question and answer session at the end of this webinar. But if you have questions before the webinar is over, you can drop it. You can drop it in the chat box. We'll surely answer your questions at the end of this session. So thank you so much for your cooperation. So starting, hold on. I'll be introducing our speakers. I'll be introducing our speakers. Firstly, we have Mr. Okunola Afeez Olajuwon, popularly known as iOS. So he'll be talking about his experience as being a supervisor under Professor Omo Aregbenye. And we have Miss Eziukwu Immaculate. So sorry if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but Miss Immaculate Onyinyechi. So our supervisor was Dr. Onyinyechi Oluboyega. And we have Mr. Tobiloba Adetoro, who will be giving us insight about how his journey was being a supervisor under Dr. Samuel Orokoya. So sorry. And lastly, we have Miss Deborah Mamora, popularly known as Dima. So Dima will be taking us through our journey with Dr. Noah Olashende. So without not wasting time, our speakers on this call. So I'll be inviting this first speaker.
like from scratch. The fact that he's already your supervisor already awards both of you a relationship. So if they ask who is it to in your family level, you can say that okay, Dr. Dufa is my supervisor. So there is a supervisor relationship. So the foundation has been laid. So when we talk about building relationship, we are talking about in a building structure now, how strong, how much of a quality is the block you are using, how much of a quality is the cement you're actually using to make the walls of the house stand strong. Okay. So and one of the first thing that I want to say is that you honor his or her rules. So maybe it's a female supervisor or a male supervisor, you honor all of their rules. And let me be practical now. So when we were allocated our supervisors, when I saw that they gave me the what's the word now? The efficient Professor Samuel Orekoya. I think a few days after he called five of us to his office as my course rep then, Success, Akintoyedo, Michael, Barakat, and Aziz Olayode. So he called us to his office. He did orientation for us. He was so calm with us. He even gave us an outline how we are going to write chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, down to chapter 5. He told us everything. He told us that he only accepts topics from monetary and development. Anything outside monetary and development is a no-no for him. Why? Because he doesn't want to start racking his brain, doesn't want to start doing extra studies because somebody from maybe international public, which is not his field, wants to write something and he really doesn't have the time to go extra mile. So he talked about monetary and development and macroeconomics. Those are the areas he's accepting topic. And me, I'm an international and public student. That was first and headache for me first. And he told us, okay, come with 3 topics. As usual, most of them is say come with topics and your proposal and all of those things. So that was one of his rules then. And nobody broke it. Yes, we were going well. Not until along the journey when he told us that okay, on a Friday, because the one thing about Dr. Samuel Lorekoya is that out of 5 of you, only one person he will be interacting with to pass information to the others. I don't know, that's just his policy, and we respected him for that. But if you have any problems, you can go and meet him personally. And I'll recommend something after this, as if I remember what I want to recommend. So he told sources that on his so I think we've submitted our chapter 2 then. Then after we were writing chapter 1 and chapter 3, he told success on the Wednesday that you people should come on Friday. So we didn't know what Friday it is. Success did not ask. So success now told us on Thursday that Dr. Reko has said we should come on Friday. The problem is which Friday? Is it a Friday of tomorrow or Friday of next week? And as at that time, none of us were done with chapters 1 and 3. So it became an issue and we didn't see anything. None of us were silent since the fault was coming from success, pure communication. We didn't know what Friday it was. So we decided not to go that Friday. Then we didn't know we were playing with ourselves. So the next Friday when we went, the man just changed it for us that no, you guys cannot come. And I'm telling you, it was really a big issue. It was like that particular Friday when we were supposed to come, he waited for us from 8 down to like 6. And since it was not veritable, there was no one that could verify it that we don't know if it is true or not. And please, I'm not saying doctor's line. We don't know if it was true. I mean, it's not possible he was waiting for us all the whole day, but none of us showed up, so we had no excuse. Success had to involve Dr. Dufa to beg him, GR to beg him. I think one other lecturer. It was at the point we wanted to inform HOD, that's Prof. Adewi, but we're like, if it does this, we don't know what will happen to the grade. I mean, to escalate, it will be as if we are now using authority to check another authority. So for like 6-7 weeks, and mind you, Dr. Ekoya is one of the fastest lecturer when it comes to project. He's going to give you enough time. My work with him had made my project journey flexible. I was not pressured, I was not in a rush. I even had enough time. I did over 30 analyses across 4 different faculties, and it was so flexible. There was no pressure for me. It was later on I understood these things. So it took, after submitting chapter, it took us after like 6-7 weeks before he now accepted our apologies. And that day, Success had to go back there. Success had been going because he was the only one he's interacting with. Success now prostrated. I don't know, maybe prayed before prostrating, but after I prostrated, the doctor now said, okay, I'm like, mind you, he told us that he was going to waste our time. Yes. And one thing Dr. Egoya does is that he retaliates. If you offend him now, I'm mindful of my words, he's going to retaliate. And eventually, none of my fellow supervisors, including me, had an A in our project, and we did our work ourselves. After all, I can tell you that all the corrections in my chapter 1 to 5 is not up to 2 full sentences, like all the corrections. It's not up to 2 full sentences. What the first corrected from my chapter 1 to 3 was maybe I wrote trade balance, I wrote C in capital letter, B in capital letter, I just circled it, I changed it. And in my analysis, there were some, when you're using, if you see 0 point E something, when the numbers have a lot of decimal. So you just underlined it. That was all the corrections in my project. And I was happy because, I'm not like some people that their supervisor was disturbing them a night before defense and all of those things. So we broke just one rule. It affected everyone. Just one rule. It affected everybody. So please honor his or her rules. Some of them are not always available. They already know that, okay, maybe say I want to, they don't have your time. Just whatever they ask you to do, do it. If they give you an appointment, they are not around, you just honor the appointment. Honor his or her rules. Due to time constraint, I'll be able to go deeper into what it means to honor his or her rules. But every single thing they ask you to do, just honor his or her rules. And number 2, please do not offend your supervisor. Do not offend them, not for any reason. We did ours with Prof. Rekoya, and it cost us. None of us even had 65. Theirs was 63. That was Susanna. And it really affected some of us also, It's a 6-unit course, and because we did one small thing, it was a small thing. Being mindful of my words. It's not good, right? Okay. It was a miscommunication, and so we offended him. And please do not offend your lecturers. Your supervisors. And the third thing is that you portray yourself willing to write your project and ready for all. I have a lot of stories I want to share, but time is constraining. You portray yourself that you are willing to write your project. If they tell you that your proposal should be 1-page proposal, that's Dr. Egoya's style. 1-page proposal. When you are submitting the proposal, you will not even read it. You will just say, okay, I like this topic, and you will sign on it, approved, then go and work on it. So if they tell you write 6-page proposal, please do it. If they ask you to cancel and redo all of these things, please do that. Some of them will stress you, some of them will not stress you. Now, there is no general law that works with all kinds of people, because people are people, or people is people, anyhow. What works for Dr. Regoya might not work for Dr. Onyinyechi, because Dr. Onyinyechi learned that if you correct one work, you can go back and correct it again. There are different lecturers. There are some people that, there was one day in agri-economics, I sent analysis, let's say 801, and by 802, she already messaged me that our supervisor was already checking it. I don't know what she had been doing since 100 level. I don't know how close she can be, how close her relationship was with her supervisor, that in a space of about 1 minute, and I'm serious now, 1 minute, you sent a message to your supervisor in the night, you opened your message immediately and started checking your work. Do you understand? So, but I've just given 3 general rules for every supervisor. Honor your rules, don't offend them. You can't afford a bit, trust me. And portray yourself willing to write your project and ready for home. Now, I want you to note something, that the algorithm of maybe a supervisor used to give A, or used to give B, or used to give C, it does not really matter, because the algorithmic pattern that that some people might have told you, it can be changed. It changes. They said before, they told us that Dr. Rekoya will give at least one person A, because that was the Oluwatobiloba said, the PR. she had an A. I think somebody else too had an A. And during our time, Ayomide was sending gifts to Dr. Rebecca. So we were like, okay, at least one person will have A, or at least two people. But shocking to us, nobody had an A. So don't put your mind too much on there's an algorithm that okay, Professor Adeola Adenikeji will give 4 out of 5 A. Then maybe you will not give one person B, or if all of you do secondary data, election will give you A. If somebody does primary data, will give you B. No. Don't believe in those algorithms. Believe in yourself. You can get the A. Everybody else can get B. And it's possible all of you get the A. Okay, so please just work on your project very well. I encourage the use of AI, but the responsible use. Please don't let all your work be AI. And if all your work is AI, please and please humanize it. I know somebody that used AI from A to the end because I did this analysis and I humanized it. But I don't know. The supervisor, Dr. Patricia, yes, I don't know if it was a C she gave him or a D, and he ended up with a third class. Yeah, a third class. So please and please honor, I'll rate my points, honor your supervisors or supervisors. Don't offend them. Also, don't offend your co-supervisors. Then portray yourself willing to write your project and ready for all. And also your own algorithm. You should believe that the two people that determine your algorithm, maybe you have an A in your course, should be God and you. So you first work, you do your best, then you pray to God. So I hope I've delivered what I was asked to. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Mary, I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much, Toby, for that insightful session. So I'm sure we are all learning as we're listening to their experiences, and I've learned like one or two things from what you said. So moving on, I will move on to our next speaker. And yeah, please note that if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box that is on this call. So moving on, we are moving to our second speaker, which is Miss Onyinyechi, and she'll be talking about how to choose the right topic and winning your supervisor's approval. And our supervisor was Dr. Oyeronti Olugboyega. So Miss Onyinyechi, you can have the floor now.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes,
Good
we
evening,
can hear
ma'am.
you.
Yes, my name is Onyinyechi Eziukwu. I would like to thank you all for having me on this meeting, this call, and it's a very wonderful thing that you're having this orientation. It's going to enlighten you on the things that I passed through while doing my project. So choosing a project topic can be very overwhelming. I can remember when I was in 300 level, second semester. Um, yes, a guy from psychology was telling me about how I should start thinking of a project topic. I was like, 300 level, that is too early and all of that. So I did not really think of it. I just kept it to one side. It was in 400 level when it was to start meeting our supervisors that I knew that I should have started earlier. So I should have started thinking of my topic earlier than then. From Dr. Oyeronti, he, according to what he told us, the first time we met him, he gave us a lot of do's and don'ts. He's a very simple man. Just make sure that you follow what he says, like everything that comes out from him, just follow it. That's how simple the man is. Just follow it. If you can follow everything, I think that day he asked us to jot down a lot of things so that we don't forget. And I think I did so. So that thing helped me. It guided me while I was doing this project. So anything he says, if he say do A, even if you know that A it might not be feasible for you, please try your possible best to do it. The first day we met him, he told us that he is not the kind of lecturer that allows you to pick your topic based on your thinking. His own way for that he recommends to his supervisors to pick the topic is from literature. It's from literature. That means you have to read literature. You have to read journals. You asked to go and read journals and then look for a topic. So that was what I did. I went to CBN, like CBN portal. I looked for journals that interest me. Besides, my major is international and monetary, but I did my project was public finance because he said he was not really he's not really an international person, and me, I did not want to do anything monetary, so I had to read it, and then I came up with some things. I went to meet him. He modified. That was not the exact topic I picked, but he modified it, and then he gave me the topic. I think another thing I should also say is that when you are reading the journals, try to understand them, and then because he will ask you questions. For example, when Kabi brought his project topic, he asked him like Kabi did like a mini defense for that topic because the man was like, oh, that he does not believe that he can do that topic and all of that. So he had to defend the topic, and the man said, okay, you should go ahead to do it. Along the line, he still changed the topic because some things came up. Basically, what am I saying? So try to understand before you choose that topic. Try to understand. Make sure it interests you. You have an interest in it, so that you don't. As I said, you will not be stranded at the end of the day and just rely on ChatGPT or AI, because he would always ask you questions. Whenever you're going to meet him, he would always ask you questions. And another thing I would advise you is that make sure that you know what your supervisor wants. Even if you have interest in this, if the supervisor says he wants this, work with that. My supervisor is more into secondary data, and that was what I had to work with, and I had to go out of my way to go for this public finance, which was not even my major. But I tried to read and understand, because he will surely ask you questions on it. Then understanding your supervisor, it is very key. Make sure you meet Dr. Yeroti. I think the issue that I had with the people before us was the fact that he gave them an instruction that come and see me before your vibe. Come and see me before your viber. Come and see me. Like this is necessary. I don't know what happened though, that they did not go back to meet the man. That thing really cost them. It really cost them because he does not like it when you don't. Please obey his instruction. Obey his instruction. He will tell you that if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But he has told you his mind. That thing that he said, that mind that he told you, that is what you should start working on. That's what you should start working on. So when I talked to Personal, the first time that I saw that, he was my supervisor, I already cancelled out. I cancelled it out. But I was like, that A is not possible. Then let me start thinking of maybe B or C. Let me start thinking of B or C. That A is not even possible at all. That but Personal was like, I should follow everything the man says. If you say A, do A. If you say B, do B. Just be doing it like that, even if it will inconvenience you. Because I can count the number of times I cried. Like I cried because I was really like, this man is stressing me too much. I cried. But as God will have it, I had A. Like it was even, I didn't even believe it when they told me I had A in the project, because I was really like, I already cancelled it in my mind that this man, no, that it is impossible. But as God will have it, I had the A. Because I basically followed everything. Because the last, when we were asked to submit our the soft bind, when I did my 1 to 5, that I submitted it to him, he just told me the corrections and all of that, and I was like, if I like, I should do it. If I like, I should not do it. That the next time I'm coming to meet him, I'm coming with my soft bind. The issue I had was that because it was public finance, I did not really read that project to understanding it. I just read, just join things. People that the journals I read, I just went, they just copy and paste, put it on ChatGPT to explain more, and then that was what I was doing. So I did not really digest this the topic. I did not digest it. It gave me a lot of issues. So it was when he made those corrections that my eyes opened that, oh, that there could have been another way I would have done this whole project. So I had to start. I think it was just a week. I had to start my project. I had to redo my chapter 2, redo my chapter 4, and then my chapter 5. I had to redo those because the chapter 2 was related to the chapter 4, because he asked me to do, the man is fond of all these growth rates, stuff like that. So he asked me to do it and show it on a diagram, and that's what I did not sleep. I had to, it was like I was starting my project all over, because I had to sit down, digest it, and then with the corrections he made, that was what I did. And I think that was what the man saw, that he was actually impressed. He was actually impressed because I made sure that all the corrections he made, that everything that he made, that he said that day, I made sure I put it in my project so that you would see it. How do you handle corrections? One thing about Dr. Oluwatobiloba is that he does not like when he's
Sorry, we cannot hear you again. I think she has network issue. Let me reach out to her.
when you say, okay, this is what I want you to do. Okay, sir, present your work. That's when you start. That's when you talk. But when they are trying to correct you or anything, don't start saying, sir, this is the way I saw it. Just say, yes, sir. And then when you're asking questions, ask question in a polite way. For me, I did not really have like a good, like 100% rapport with my supervisor. I do not have. Anytime I'm going to meet him, I'm always having anxiety because I'm like, oh, this man, I don't want to. You can ask me questions that will throw me off balance and all of that. But I made sure that to the best of my ability, I ask questions. I don't do past myself. I ask questions when it is needed. Yes, sir. So try to reach out to, and another thing, reach out to like the your supervisors, previous supervisors. They will give you tips on how to follow up with your supervisor. I'm just giving tips for my own supervisor because that is what I know about him. For other supervisors, I don't really know. So make sure you always check in regularly with your supervisors. It is very, very important. Check in with them. It's going to give you an edge, and try to build good relationship with them. If it is greeting, if it is maybe where you see them, you help them. Try to build depth because it is necessary. You have to read your project. I would say that I cannot talk about my story and remove the God factor. It is necessary. It is necessary. God really helped me because as I told you that till today I still do not believe that, oh, I could have got that is basically all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Thank you all for having me.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Onyinyechi. So moving on to the next speaker, we're having Mr. Okunola Afeez Olajuwon. Is he on this call?
Yeah, I'm here.
He will be talking to us about. Okay. He'll be talking to us about handling corrections, pressure, and frustration in our project. Thank you. You can have the floor now.
All right, thank you, Mary. Good evening, everyone. Like he said, my name is Okunola Olajuwon, the founder and CEO of iOS. So I will be talking about correction and pressure and frustration regarding to my own experience with my supervisor. And this is the most important, I think this is the most important aspects of project journey, your final year project journey. Because at this point, let me be very honest with you. This is the stage where many students almost give up on their project because of correction, and that corrections leads to frustrations. It's not because they are not intelligent, no, but because of correction and pressure and frustration from their supervisor can make them feel like they want to give up on this particular project, or they lose hope that, oh, I cannot have good grade on this project. No, there is one thing I want you to know about your final year project, and which is important. What the supervisor wants from you is your consistency. They believe that you don't have much idea about final year projects. They also know that you are just new to this system. But what they want is they want to see your consistent, and they want to see you being consistent in the sense that that is why they keep giving you corrections. Based on my own experience, my supervisor changed my topic, and me and my supervisor, we agreed on that particular topic when I wrote a proposal and he accepted it himself. The next day, let's say the next week, because we always see my supervisor once in a week. So next week, after I submit the proposal on the topic that which my supervisor approved, my supervisor said, no, Juwon, we cannot work with this topic. There's one error there. If you do this, if you do that, it's not going to work. You know, after putting all effort that I'm so confident that once my supervisor see this thing, I'm moving to chapter one straight. But it's like a shock to me when my supervisor is telling me that, oh, we cannot go ahead with this topic, we need to change this. But I cannot say, sir, you are the one that approved this topic and we discussed about this topic together. I said I can go ahead with it. So I have to go ahead and bring another topic. So I don't say that, I'm just thinking out based on my own. I cannot challenge my supervisor. So I feel like, okay, sir, what can we do? I say, okay, let's just change one variable out of from your topic, then I agree. So one thing I want to know is that when your supervisor is giving you any correction, please don't argue because they know better than you. These people have been writing papers for years and publishing papers for years. So don't argue with them. So when they give you any corrections, just accept the corrections and do the necessary things. Because I'm so confident that with this work, my supervisor can stand. I start, and once your supervisor, according to my own supervisor now, my supervisor is a very simple and good person that everybody always prays to have as supervisor, which is a professor or more very cool person. He's not going to stress you. But there's one thing that my supervisor does not like when he's not stressing you, and because of that, you choose to be lazy and you're not doing the right thing at the right time. So, the first thing is that I build relationship with him because of me being consistent about my work. And the consistency I'm talking about is giving me correction now, and I'm doing the correction immediately when we are saying it. So you always see me, and with there's a connection and interest that I have interest in that. Okay, you are doing well, you are doing good. So what I'm trying to say here is that they know that you are new to this thing. So what they want from you is your consistency. So you being consistent is what can earn you a, even if you don't know anything in your project, because they regard that one as an effort for the fact that you are being consistent. So like I said, that there was a time I submitted and I need to change my topic. At least it's not the whole topic, but I need to change one variable. Then I don't let that one weigh me down. I know that okay, let's go again. I have to finish this thing on time. So I'll always target to start on time and finish on time, so that because that is what they say as constants. That if they say that, okay, you start early and finish early, so that's part of things that they consider that okay, this guy try even though you don't know it. So what correction really mean that most students don't know is that the supervisor is not correcting you because they hate you. No, 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 no. They are just, they are just testing your patience and see how you are going to react when you get out from the academics and how you are going to represent them. So many students think correction means failure. No, 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 no. Once they are giving you correction, it doesn't mean because if I show you, I have about I have all the corrections is I packed them somewhere. Is so bulky. My correction because I keep doing correction, and people don't even know because I think I'm the first person to get my topic approved. I'm the first person to finish in my department, and I'm the first person to even submit the hard binding. So, but people don't know that I'm going through some these correction issues with my supervisor. So I always make sure that I do the correction. If they are giving you correction, don't feel like, oh, you have failed. No. Or when you are saying correction time, oh my God, with this correction, or am I going to have a no? They just want to see your consent. Once they are giving correction, please do the correction immediately and go back to your supervisor and discuss so that I can move on. So correction does not mean failure. So your supervisor is correcting you. I mean, if your supervisor is correcting you, it means that they just want you to pay attention to your work. They want you to pay attention to your work and they want to see how serious you are. So I will still talk about this. I'll talk about common mistakes that students make. Yeah, I'll talk about that one. So the first thing is that don't take correction personal. Oh my God. There's some supervisor that, especially my supervisor, is going to read your work one by one. So it's grammatical corrections, there will be grammatical corrections, there will be academic correction, there will be empirical corrections, theoretical corrections. So don't take any correction personal as if your supervisor is attacking you. No, once they are taking it personal, oh, there's going to be an issue. You know about the issue in your final year project. So, and don't think because of correction, majority of our colleagues makes these mistakes, especially my colleagues that were under the same supervisor. You know, because of corrections, you stop going to see your supervisor. That is a big mistake. You are making big mistake because you have a corrections, and because of that, you don't work on the correction and you fail to meet your supervisor. Because some people have that issue because the deadline. That's why they are not going to meet our supervisor and start begging, crying for help. And don't do that. So, and another thing, don't submit your corrections without making the real changes. Like the real changes that like the correction you are giving to you don't make proper correction and you're gonna submit again. That's not used to make, it makes can make your supervisor get more angry at you. Please don't just be in the same circle or be doing the same corrections time to time. So that can affect you. So, and don't wait so long to apply or, to apply solutions to whatever correction that is given to you. Please don't make all those mistakes. Then instead of those mistakes, what you should do that involve a practical steps is that accept the correction with the right mindset. See it as a part of the process, not punishment. It's not a punishment. See it as a part of what you are doing because this is the most important aspect of your final. There's no how good you are in writing. Your supervisor will correct you. That's why you have supervisor. If they believe that you are so that good, they will not assign you to any supervisor. So be expecting correction. So just accept your correction with the right mindset. So then another thing, write down your correction clearly. This is another important thing. In fact, me and my supervisor now have the relationship we have now is beyond being supervisor and supervisee now because he even encouraged me that he's going to publish my work and I'm going to be the main publisher of the work. And the reason is I want to talk about the second point. What you should do is that you should write down the correction clearly. At times, it is hardly for me to see what my supervisor is writing down. All those professors, they don't have time. They don't care about fine writing or whatever. So it is hard for me to see what my supervisor is trying to correct in terms of writing. So anytime I'm going there, I always take note of whatever he's saying. At times, I always put my phone on record so that I know that what is going to write on that paper. I might not see it clearly, I might not even understand it, but whatever he's saying, the moment is telling me the correction that okay, you want do this, change this. I'll put my phone on record or just being attentive. So or just pay more attention to whatever he's saying so that I'll know that when I want to apply the correction, I always always, work on my correction immediately. I don't delay it because even delaying it can make me to forget whatever I want to work on. So then you need to improve, not just editing. When your supervisor is giving you corrections, you believe that it's just to edit. For example, your supervisor can say, okay, instead of you using under the objectives, instead of you using examine, use evaluate. You just change it like that. Use evaluate. You don't try to look at what is the reason behind my supervisor telling me to use examine, not evaluate. There's some situation whereby you don't use examine. You use some kind of words to change. So try to look at what's the reason behind that so that it's going to help you for any further writing or whatever you want to submit. Well, okay, this is what you want to do. So most importantly, please be consistent. That is what I've helped me to also have A in my binary project. So just be consistent. It's not about how to do research. It's not about how to write. There will be correction for sure. There will be frustration for sure. What you just have to do is because there are sometimes the kind of frustration I face that there are sometimes I've been looking for my files for the past 3 weeks. I'll go to his office, check on him. I couldn't find it. So that's kind of frustration. So but I try to reach out to him. So what's important is keep going, whatever the corrections or the situation may be. Please just keep going. So, well, students who succeed are not the smartest in projects. I used to say this, you don't get. Like, students who succeed are not the smartest, but they are the most consistent. We have some intelligent, like what we say now, we have people that we know that these people are intelligent and they don't have A or B even in their final year projects. And they are good. They have good grade. So it's not about being intelligent or being smart. What they want to see is you're consistent. That I keep saying that consistent. So at some point too, I also feel tired when I'm doing my project, but then that stage is when the success story of your project begins, when you feel that no, don't give up. Corrections, apply to the correction immediately, and make sure you do the necessary things on time. So don't rush, please. Don't rush. Just be calm. Just work on it as it should be. So, um, well, let me just to give you more information about my supervisor because I've just spoke about my own topics about corrections and frustrations. So my supervisor is a lively person. In fact, if you fall under Professor Mo, in fact, your A is sure. Just your destination of getting A is sure. But what you just have to do is that don't frustrate him, don't make him angry, and don't let him see you as lazy person. That's what he doesn't like. Don't let him see you as a lazy person. So once you as a lazy person, if you don't talk, my sponsor will not talk for real. Because he do complaints some of my colleagues to me that so person does not come. You know what he's going to do for them. They don't come on time. It's now when he's busy. They will be coming. It's know what. So please don't let him just see you as a lazy person. Even if you don't know what is explained to him, just be consistent. I've been saying just be consistent because that's what helped me so far. Being consistent. So that is my supervisor for you. Is going to, it's going to help you and it's going to let you fall in love with research because it's actually made me fall in love with research and final year project writing. So I will be so sorry, I'm trying to so that's what I have to say. So thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Mills, you can stop me.
Okay. Thank you so much, IOS, for that session or for the presentation. Really appreciate. So without wasting time, we're moving on to our next speaker, which is Miss Deborah Mamora. And our supervisor was Dr. Noah Olaseyinde. So she'll be talking to us about how to start your project the right way. I believe we all need this. So let's just listen attentively. This is the last session. And also, if you have questions, you can drop them in the. Usually, people don't have questions. Drop them in the in-call messages so I'll be able to answer the questions after the session. Miss Deborah, you can come up now.
All right, thank you very much, Mary. It's so lovely to be here. I can see that the call will end in 40 minutes, so I think I will just say that once the call ends, please let us join back immediately. Thank you. I feel I'm the proper way. Now, a lot of people, when they are entering final year, let me even ask, how many of us, just raise your hands, how many of us have gotten like, you you know what to write on, you are sure you're good to go. Okay, I'm not seeing responses though. You people, what's going on? I heard as far as list is out. Anything was got the fake call. Okay. So number one thing is to know what you want to write on. There is no project without a topic. Abi, there's no project writing without a topic. So you have to first of all know what you want to write on. And I'm going to say this, that let your project topic, as much as the supervisor is a determinant, let it also be something that interests you. So there was a card I played for my supervisor. He's someone that when we went to meet him, he told us he's a very principled man. And he told us that he does not accept secondary data. So I had been thinking of what to write on. And I remember that when we resumed final, I remember that when they did convocation, when we resumed final year, the, what's it called? The previous set before us, they had 12, they had 12 first class. There were no guys. And I was curious. Then when we resumed, after the resumption, Dr. Dukwas mentioned the same thing and asked us, oh, what happened? Why are the guys in our class? So I'm going to say it openly. The guys in my class too, I think we had 12, 15 first class graduates, so how many? I can't even remember. Was it 12? I can't remember. But it was dominated once again by the female gender. And it kept me wondering that was the problem, and why are the guys not doing so well. So it was curiosity that made me pick my project topic. And what was my topic? Effect of also culture on academic performance of male undergraduates of University of Ibadan. What I did was that it told us to bring 3 topics, of which they all must be. So you must first of all know your supervisor's niche. A lot of these lecturers have their own niche. Some of them have interest in second. Go and write on it. Please don't fight it. Just tell them that, oh, sir, can I modify it like this in a way that suits your own taste? So I brought 3 topics to my well, you see that second topic, go. With the background story of vows and economics, and interested him, and him not to write on. When they ask you why do you want to write on this topic, it must be, see, if they wake you from your sleep. Because even on my project defense day, Dr. Orekoya was in my project defense and Professor Moore, they asked me, why did you sir, when you came to our class in 300 level, he said this. He was so impressed. And I had an A in my project, by the way. And they were also impressed that they even asked me that would like come and lecture in the department. So my point is, know what you want to do, know your topic, like know why you are writing your topic. And the reason I'm talking about an interest I'm interested in is because you will get tired along the way. Project writing, I'm not going to deceive you. A lazy man cannot write projects unless you want to go and outsource it, which I don't advise. But a lazy man cannot write projects. You will get tired, you will cry. It is my project defense. My supervisor was still doing corrections. I got to my room, I cried like my roommates were begging me. I didn't stop crying. So you will get tired, you will get frustrated. What keeps you going is your interest in that topic. For me, at some point, I pulled an all-nighter. For 7 good days, I did not sleep overnight. I wrote my chapter 2 in 7 days. But what kept me going at every point in time was my interest in the topic. And the more I read, the more I find something interesting and I talk to people about it. So first of all, make sure it's something you're interested in. Number 2, research is the easiest thing to do if you know your way around it. Let me get started. We have 8 minutes left on this call right now. But let me get started with AI. So when you're doing a project topic and doing your research, you can use AI. But if I have a supervisor like mine that will tell you 0% AI, and it means it, like he made my co-supervisor start their project they had to rewrite. I have to understand from the beginning because of AI and plagiarism. So what did I do? I also bypassed my, please don't tell him I'm seeing that on one day. I don't bypass him. So now what did I do? First of all, I learned the responsible use of AI. A lot of people in this generation lack the responsible use of AI. You don't copy and paste AI. You don't allow AI to teach you what you need to know. You're the one that gives AI the prompts. And then AI will reason with you in line with your own thinking. Now, what do I mean? For example, I thought of something. Oh, okay. I need some journals and all of that. Now I'm going to give AI the right prompts. And then when AI is now telling me, oh, give me, because I used it for my chapter 2 a lot, give me excerpts from this journal. What did this journal say about this? And when it brings it out, I am not going to go and copy and just paste. I will read, and then because AI likes to use ambiguous English, ambiguous words, I'll break it out to simple English terms that a layman will use, and then I will type it out that way. That way, if you run into an AI, my chapter 1 is 0% AI. Chapter 2 is 100%. My friends had to call me to his office and ask me, how did you do it? Is it that I did not use AI? And I just laughed. I wanted to tell him that I did not use AI, but I didn't also tell him that I used AI because that's me shooting myself in the leg. I just told him, I only use it for research and not that I didn't use AI to write in the mud. So my point is that know the responsible use of AI. So AI will help you guide your research, and it's better when you have your journals uploaded. I used Gemini, I used DeepSeek, I used Copilot. You can use them as well. And if you can pay for ChatGPT Pro, if you can look for someone that help you gather resources. I was able to subscribe to this Gemini Pro that Google was doing one time, and it's a 1-year subscription, so it's really helped me in my project. So I used Notebook LM as well. You can be taking notes of all these AI apps because you still need them. And then for your research, I used oh my god, I'm forgetting. I used research definitely. I used Google Scholar. There were a number of them. I can't really remember. Now, after getting your topic, you're able to write your proposal on your topic, defend it well before supervisor, get supervisor to approve it. Now, you start your research. Supervisors have different styles. Some have 6 chapters, some 5 chapters. Some, now, my supervisor gave us model, just like what Toby supervisor did for them. It took us to his office for 2 hours. Dr. Onyinyechi taught us Echo 4 OTD for 2 straight hours, no break. We were writing back to back everything he wanted to see. And that was the first and the last time he taught us about project writing. Go and start writing. And then he put us on that master student. So some of you will have to be working with the PhD students and the master students under a supervisor. I had clash with my master supervisors, gosh, because they were from another school. And the things that they were telling me to do, even me, I knew it was wrong. So I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not your standard. I cannot do this. And it brought about a lot of clash back and forth between us. But in summary, I just listened to them because they will, whatever you do, your supervisor will eventually correct you. So don't try to be perfect at the goal, on the goal. Don't try to be perfect on the spot. Make your mistakes, write what you know, and allow your supervisor correct. And like the one said, see, correction is very important. Like I said, 2 a.m. the day of our project defense, my supervisor still sent corrections to me on my Gmail. I did not sleep overnight. I had to call the guy printing by 5 a.m. in the morning. Defense was by 8 a.m. We were to be there by 7:30. I had to go and meet him at Zik by 7:30, collect it, wait my supervisor. He came by 8 a.m. on the dot. That man. No, I think he came a few minutes before 8. I followed him to his office. He signed it, and then I came back. So I didn't even have time to read my project work and prepare for defense. But because I knew it was a topic of interest and I knew what I did there, that project it's like a proper research. I knew what I did there. It was not hard for me to defend it, and even the people on my panel were very impressed. So like I said, try to, and don't be lazy with your research. Don't be okay. Don't be lazy with your research. Don't be lazy at all. If you are lazy, you will not be able to write project. Another thing I would say is that when you get when you get a deadline, work on. Don't wait till deadline. If you wait till deadline, still pressure won't wound you like mad. Pardon me to use pigeon, but sincerely, I can't begin to share 15 minutes